First off, there was Raph, the good comic being looking for Broop, and the bad comic being Jack. Then there was Gluttony, which was Incarnate.
Novel character, oh hi!
Then there was Lust, US Corp Gore Extravaganza.
Nope.
Then there was me facing my lazy side with Sloth and Homestuck.
Alright, let's check it out then. So let me tell you about Homestuck.
Then there was Greed, which was how I became yours. Taking stuff from people without actually working. And there was the prideful, so you are a cartoonist.
It just shows that you studied art and not writing.
Now drop that bass! And then there was Envy. Envy being... Well, how did Envy go?
So let me just make this clear right off the bat. I freaking love food. It's my second most favorite thing to eat next to noobs in Dark Souls, who I eat for breakfast every day.
Come at me, bro!
I've always loved cooking food, but I freaking sucked at it. Seriously, I could make dry soup, or food so oily that America would wanna invade my plate. So when I moved out, I had to learn how to cook food. Seriously. Ramen and fast food will only last you so long, and down the line, you'd want to be able to cook for your family and friends.
Let's be honest, if you invite your potential partner over, you want to serve something more romantic than a number 18 with extra cheese. Hold the onions.
But cookbooks are so bloody boring. And if you have no idea what certain things are because no one freaking told you, then how the heck are you supposed to stand a chance? And this is not just me. There's several students or young bachelors who don't have a clue on how to cook anything more advanced than a bowl of spaghetti.
Don't laugh, you've been there too.
So we need to learn how to cook. We need to learn how to cook normal stuff for our daily life, and we need to have fun while learning it. If only there was some kind of webcomic that could show us the way. Cooking Comically is an online cookbook made for people just like you and me by a guy called Tyler Capps, a freelance graphic artist and autodidact cook.
Psst, that means self-taught. That sounds super clever.
After his first online recipe comic 2am Chili went viral, he launched CookingComically.com in 2011. It has since then received more than 4 million unique visitors and has a printed book.
Now, seeing this comic is rather short, I was thinking that maybe we could make some dinner while we are talking about it. So, what should we make? How about some MacGuffin muffins? Why MacGuffin muffins? Because MacGuffin is a term that is used in literature.
As I stated earlier, Cooking Comically is a comic about cooking food. Or rather, it's various recipes presented to the people who hardly even know how to boil water.
Boil water? What am I, a chemist?
And the Lord said, let there be light. And Riser said, fuck that shit. Let there be bacon. Now to bake these bad boys for 30 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit. What, I have to bake bacon with 400 overrated David Cage games?
Yeah, so the recipes don't exactly translate all that well into Danish, seeing we don't use Fahrenheit here. Although there's a nice converter table in the back of the book, so meh. Anyway, the comic is a nice mixture of normal pictures and Tyler's easily recognized stickmen. Because it's minimal what Tyler says with each picture, to keep it light and easy accessible, he tends to use stick figures to give an example of what he means, or just for poops and giggles.
Now to make the little dough cups, which are apparently made by rolling a glass over dough in plastic wrap. So we got the dough here, and then we get a glass, Viking style.
When opening a cookbook, what's the first thing you always want to know? You want to know how hard it is. You want to know exactly what you need, and you want to know just how much you can yutz around with it and still get an edible product. Good thing Tyler manages to explain that with the very first page and the very last, with everything from a shopping list to a meter showing how complicated it is.
Which more times than not never really seem to reach the really difficult stuff.
So what will you learn to cook exactly? Well, if you look at the home page, there's a rather limited selection, but in the cookbook you get a ton. Both online and in the book you'll get everything from breakfast and lunch to dinner and dessert. And there's everything from super easy stuff you'll need more or less every other day to the fancy stuff you can serve to your girlfriend on your anniversary.
Which is obviously hobo pies. Okay, so you mix an egg. There's some shells in there. Alright, I got it. Alright, I got it. And a two. Alright, gonna be a dick. There we go. And now you stir it around. You're just jealous because you didn't come up with this.
This wouldn't be the webcomic relief if you didn't learn anything, and I believe that cooking comically is a perfect example of what execution can do. I mean, when you really get down to it, this is just a cookbook. So why is it so much better than simply reading up from a normal cookbook with pictures? This isn't some super advanced kitchen with super billion-star chef behind the wheel. It's a dude in his own kitchen making food, and he's yutzing up with jokes and funny pictures while doing it. It makes it easier for you to feel like you stand a chance when cooking these things. It's the same with watching your friend make dinner and then watching your parents make dinner. If your friend makes dinner, it seems more accessible than when your parents does it, cause you're sort of on the same level there.
In other words, you can make the most simple stuff seem awesome just by executing it properly. Like, Sonic was, in all his simplicity, just a hedgehog who ran really fast and did sick jumps. And then people started mixing him with a Pikachu or made sex forums and stuff like that. So, thanks for ruining Sonic, guys.
So I know what you're all thinking. Riser, what about the art? I mean, surely, it's a webcomic, so there's gotta be some art in there. And obviously, it's limited, but it's there. Tyler is in the comic depicted as a stick figure who's doing all sorts of stuff to sort of give a hilarious twist on the recipe instructions. So if the recipe asks you to shake something, you better be ready to see Tyler shaking that booty like his souffle is depending on it.
Good thing there's no shaking it here. Cause when I first bust them moves, all the girls are like,
What a hunk! Total sploosh!
Actually, yeah, gotta give him the sploosh.
Like with the Order of the Stick, I'm kind of amazed with just how much Tyler gets out of these stick figures. You're never questioning what they're doing, and the dude is actually pretty good at drawing. Like, look at this. He could choose to draw super talented like this, but he chose to stick with the sticks. That does, however, not mean that something super detailed doesn't sneak its way into the comic every once in a while, and for some reason, that's helping with making it hilarious. Maybe because it's so humorously out of place.
really? Tyler can draw. There's this weird thing where if you can even make a arrow or something really simple look unique and easily recognizable, then you're doing something really cool. And Tyler can really do that.
One thing that several times surprises me and actually really impresses me is how great Tyler is to mix his real life photographs with his own art. I have personally experimented with this, worked on it for like half an hour, threw my tablet out of the window in frustration and cried myself to sleep. We've also seen other artists try their luck with this, and the results have been less than spectacular.
Now, we just put this bad boy in the oven for 20 minutes. Now the recipe says that we have to kill some time. So let's do that by going over what could be better about this comic. Goddamn, people are writing me on Steam.
Now, most of these complaints will probably not really mean anything to you if you live in the States, but I gotta review this as it is for me. And I must say that some, if not a fairly decent portion of these recipes, are rather hard to follow when you're not from the States. Like, half of the ingredients you need are often stuff you can only buy outside of where I live, like, for this instance, the canned biscuits. Like, I get what it was, but that's because I have spent some time cooking and baking before. It's just that when this comic is made for people who don't know their ass from their frying pan, you might want to make sure there's no doubt as to what's what.
But then, again, that might just be me living outside the States.
Also, I really like that the comic is so simple with its instruction, but you also gotta remember that the people using this cookbook really don't want to fuck it up, so sometimes it can be a little too lax. I don't know if it's possible to have it both being relaxed and still foolproof, but if there's one thing I'd like to see, it'll probably be that.
I swear to God, if these videos came with smell-o-vision, you guys would subscribe just from the smell of these. Ah, yes!
So, what this comic boils down to, and it is a comic, fuck off, is that it's something I personally feel almost everyone who wanna spoil themselves with the awesome skills of cooking should have in their life. If your cooking skills are limited to using the local Pizza Hut's number on speed dial, then this comic is for you. It makes cooking interesting, it makes it fun, and heck, even if you're not using it to make food with, it's still a great read. Really? What it boils down to is that this comic is a mixture of a lot of different ingredients. It has the humor, it has the tutorial thing going for it, as well as just unique charm. You take that, throw it in a bowl, mix it up, and the end result is something super delicious.
So if you're moving out or your friend is moving out, get the cookbook either for yourself or as a gift. It's less than $14 and it's almost 200 pages, and I found myself digging into this more often than a real cookbook. Now, if you will excuse me, I got a date with God. Oh my God. I can literally taste heaven. Oh. See you guys on the next Welcome Relief. God damn, these are good. Take care.
Start like a jackrabbit, finish in front of it. On the night is Jack, that's it. Understand? I'm the daddy at the Mac, daddy. Is it left in goal, maybe? Ain't nobody gonna play me. Top celebrity man. Yeah, come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Still love you like that. Yeah, come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. I'm the living on the danger. Still love you like that. Yeah, come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
So the recipe actually says that I need to bake this for 30 minutes straight at 400 Fahrenheit. But it's been 15 and it's already, I'd say, pretty well done. So, huh.